Hey, what is up everybody, Blades for here, and today I have for you guys another video of Persona 5X. Inside today's video, guys, we're going to be going ahead and talking about my pool plans when it does come down to global itself. Seeing that, man, oh man, we had some things change here. Now, once again, hopefully a lot of you guys are still going to be able to enjoy the game, whether it's either starting on TW or continuing your journey on global. The one thing I do want or at least want from all of you guys is at least to be very vocal on how y'all feel about this game. Be intelligent on the responses that you are going to be doing to the company for itself, because we got to make sure at the end of the day that this isn't right treatment that we're getting on global. And so I want people to do that, of course, as usual. Make sure any comments, any reviews are definitely something that are very vocal and very much so understood and thoroughly thought out here, because I don't know what the heck is going through their dang brains, but they need to get whatever salt water or whatever it is in there up out of there. But that's not what this video is for here. This video is going to be about my pool plans and pretty much going over what I do want to change here. Now, this was something that me and the Jocks did talk about a little bit here. He showed me his little pool plan guide, and I won't lie, it's very much so heavily implied on certain things that needs to be changed as well. And so I want to, of course, go ahead and go through this myself, because I do have a few different characters that I very well do think need to be, I guess, talked about, that I will be pulling for, characters that I'm not pulling for, ones that I feel like that aren't worth it, and then ones I would recommend. Now, all these characters are going to be shown, of course, on the screen. You guys are going to get a very thorough look at least how this is going to work out here. And it's mainly just because I feel like a lot of you guys also really want me to kind of talk about this, because a lot of people are interested on the pool plan. So for how this is going to go, I'm going to just put these in more of a tier list category, I guess you could say, and we're going to go from there. So, all right, we're going to get started. I'm going to transfer on over and I'll see you guys in a second. All right, so we have the whole list all set up here. Now, this technically can be a pool thing for you guys as well if you are on TW and KR. But I'm mainly trying to do this as a global pool plan. So this is going to be looking forward to all the characters that we do have eventually going to be coming out on global. But if you're on TW, this kind of still melds with you guys as well, especially if you're just now starting. So don't be afraid to use this as well for you guys. But in the must pull section, these are undisputably characters that you guys definitely want to go ahead and invest in here. And that is immediately going to be, of course, the girl Cord. Howler is going to be one of them. I would like to say, where's my girl Anj, because she's absolutely amazing. Anj, we're gonna have, where is Futaba? Where's our Silver Wolf? Where did she go? Oh yeah, here she is, Silver Wolf. And then of course we're gonna go ahead and get our girl Phoebe. Now, before we go ahead and go into the next section, the reasoning for these characters, Sakura, or at least our girl Cord, is pretty much a universal support. She can easily proc off highlights, give you health back, all of that good stuff, charge your highlights really quick. She's really worth going here. Our girl Howler, standard character that quite literally can act as a single target, at least defense downer, or well, single target debuffer, or even an AoE debuffer, both of which work with this character, so it really makes her very good. Anj gives you extra turns, as well as she's able to amplify your pin rate, which is absolutely insane. She can restore your HP as well, so it's really good to have this character as an offensive navi with also some defensive capabilities. Futaba, said it earlier, she's Silver Wolf, literally weakness implant, anything that needs crit rate type deal slash also defense downing, she's your girl to go for. Phoebe overall here is more of an addition to the must pull section. Reason that she's an addition to the must pull section is quite literally because inside of at least TW, KR, and even inside of global here, eventually there will be a third time to at least use a third team inside of global's guild bosses. Right now, global only uses 2 teams if I'm correct here, but they will eventually get 3 whole teams. If you want to prep for this or even have a decent navigator to have, seeing that she's going to be the first one coming to global and is still pretty darn good on TW, this is going to be the character that you want to have as a must pull as well. All these characters in the top ones are definitely characters you want to go for, so I highly suggest you guys to go for. Now for this next side here, I'm going to have at least 3 attackers, like single target attackers, 3 AoE attackers, and I'm trying to be very harsh on why they're there, because there's so many of these dudes, and I do want to say there's a few that I highly recommend and a few that I don't recommend here. One of the ones that I'm going to recommend immediately for single target is going to be Barry. Barry is absolutely insane. She's still out currently right now. And if she does get a kill on the enemy, she practically is an AoE DPS, seeing that she can bounce to the next enemy as long as she's getting the kill off. So immediately, one single targeter right then and there is going to be Barry. Next single targeter that you guys want to go ahead and focus on is going to be Makoto Yuki. Reason that he's here is because he does some crazy burst damage with his actual single target damage here, and it's actually amazing to see what he can really do. If you invest into him, he's actually insane as well, so I feel like a lot of you guys are going to really appreciate that. And then the third character, which you guys are going to probably find a little bit contradictory, is going to be Mont Figure Skater. Now hear me out. She may not deal the most damage compared to, of course, what is it called? Compared to Kazumi, though she does help out a little bit more. The reason for this is because she covers both ice and, of course, wind. If you do need this for Velvet Trials, she is the girl to go for. And then, of course, her follow-up attacks actually deal some heavy damage. If you need more sustainability, you could use her in her ice form as well, and which is a highly recommended character to go for. The only dual typing in the game, so I think this really does deserve the spot that she gets. Then, of course, we're going to our 3 AoE characters. When it comes down to the 3 AoE characters that I feel like you guys should very well invest in, it's going to be Akihiko when he reruns. Absolutely insane character, does absolutely amazing things when he is at least what's it called, A0. Very much so worth it. Another character that we're going to go ahead and go over is going to be Rin Lion Dance. Although this character does get outdone by an A6 R6, or at least an A6 on here, if you do get her A1, she's very much so really worth it. And I highly recommend her because she really can clear any content that you throw in front of her. And then lastly, the other AoE DPS that I could highly recommend, which was kind of difficult to do here because not many highly recommended DPSs I would advise, but to even it out here, the other highly recommended one is going to be Haru. If you want to get her whole team up together, she can deal some amazing destructive damage here. And if you have her A1, she's actually insanely good. But those are going to be characters that I highly recommend here for at least the attackers and AoE attackers here. As for things that are actual buffers, I would definitely highly recommend the buffer being Wind Vast and Turbo. Both of these buffers are absolutely insane. One of them helping out defensive capabilities, pin, as well as other things of that nature, doing a triple buff type situation. And then the other one being a crit rate, crit damager type buffer here, in which is actually insane. We don't have many of those in the game. We're about to get our second one being Summer Marion, and I think this character without a doubt is highly recommended to get. Now, the next thing that we're going to be going over is the recommended characters. These characters are going to be insanely good characters here, but ones that are going to be really niche on what you're going to do. First one is going to be Summer Closer. Absolutely amazing character, but you don't use her too much in SOS, but she can clear everything, whether it's just general use or even events, and sometimes even in SOS. Joker is actually really helpful, seeing that Dominion for some reason in Guild Boss consistently comes back. So investing into Joker a little bit, or at least copying one dupe of him, is really much so worth it. This is something that I find is worth it on at least, I want to say JP, KR, TW, all of them as well. But you know, don't heavily invest into this guy because it's just not going to be worth it. The next one to go for is going to be Matoi, because of course she's going to be very helpful for Rin herself, and she is still a stellar AoE debuffer. Really good character to have, so don't write her right off. The other characters that we very well could have went for was going to be at least Haru, but I think these are the only 3 that of course I can advise you guys to go for as a recommended, at least a recommended thing. Now for our up to you section. Yusuke, love him all day, but he falls off very much so hardly. On global, he's going to be good, but he's going to hardcore fall off later on. And so TW people, that's up to you. Akechi, really good character, just like Yusuke, has a ton of potential, unfortunately falls flat unless you're hardcore duping him out. So this is going to be an up to you type summon. Another up to you type summon here that we're going to be doing is going to be Yukari. If you're waiting on Yukari, she's absolutely amazing. You're mainly going to use her with at least Akihiko. So if you're actually planning to get Akihiko, I would highly recommend Yukari. But if you're planning on using with Makoto Yuki, Yukari isn't really too needed, but it's going to be up to you at the end of the day. That just depends on at least the team that you want to go ahead and use. So it very well is worth it. Next is Smoko, and which really is probably going to be a recommended character to get soon, because I know she just got a buff, and a buff is going to be helping out her damage dealt section. Whenever she does heal, you do get a damage dealt bonus here. that's going to be very, very helpful. But right now, up to you. There's at least depend on the team that you're running, whether it's Haru, whether it's S Closer. She's going to be a character that you can very well summon for, but you don't have to, nor is it recommended. Next few characters is going to be Mesa, as well as Makoto. And oh no, oh my dear bad, I meant to put Kazumi inside of recommended. My dear bad about that. But Mesa and Makoto are both going to be up to you here, because for Mesa himself, he's really good, but you do need to invest in some dupes for him. As for Makoto, the only reason why she's up to you is quite literally because I don't really want to put her into a recommended situation. She doesn't really go anywhere. Like, you could use her for damaging wise, but haven't seen her in ages in Guild Boss, haven't seen her in ages inside of SOS, and she's very squishy, so you do have to meld a team highly around her. So she's more of an up to you type of summon. It honestly comes down to what you guys really want to do here, but that's up to you on that one as well. Now, for our next few characters, these characters are going to be the free standards. Any of these free standards here mainly going to pertain to at least these guys immediately. These are all characters that you can just get. They're nothing too crazy. I mean, if you are trying to include this for TW, free standard wise, that would also include these guys. But if we're not talking about TW, then you already know it's going to be these dudes for a while. But TW wise, you very well could, of course, use Marion. What else? Did I forget anyone here? Rend needs to be here as well. Cherish needs to be here as well. But that's honestly up to you. Now, for the ones that I don't recommend, and I see you guys already know which one that is. I don't see fully worth it right now. Unfortunately, until I see more of this character with her buffs, she's in that situation where she's just not worth getting here. And I feel like a lot of you guys probably know that just as much as I do. But those are all the characters that we're going to be going over for the 5 stars. 4 stars are always pretty useful here. You're going to use them quite often. So don't think just because they're not on the actual rating list that they're not going to be worth it. But this is my pool plan here. My must pulls are going to be these guys. Highly recommended is going to be these dudes. Recommended ones are going to be these 4 here. Up to you is going to all the way be up to these 6. And then, of course, free standards characters are going to be these. But till then, everybody, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash that like button. Until next time, everybody, peace out.